Good morning, everyone. Thank you for joining me this morning. And I hope everybody's had a good summer holiday, as I have. So we're going to start this morning by emphasising the feet. And we are, of course, be using whole body movements in the course of that, but with a special emphasis upon the feet and keeping our awareness on the foot and the ankle, joint and the muscles. So we're going to start by just standing in asana-s. That means feet are about hip width apart. Drawing your attention up from the soles of the feet, up through the knees, keeping the knees a little bit soft. Up to the pelvis, and if you can imagine the pelvis as a bowl of water, just gently rock the pelvis forward so the water cascades out of the front of the bowl. And then rocking the pelvis back, so the same thing happens at the back. And then coming to rest in the midpoint, in a neutral position. And then drawing your attention up the spine, up to the shoulder blades, relaxing the shoulders down, relaxing the arms by your sides, drawing in the chin a little, and standing tall. And then taking your attention back down to the feet. And if you imagine the feet have three pillars of support. One is under the big toe, the mound of the big toe, sorry, the mound of the little toe and the heel. So you've got like a triangle underneath the foot. And if you can imagine the arches of the foot span these 3 points. And just take your weight across all of those, maybe swaying a little bit from side to side, back and forward, until you feel a point of balance. And then feel you're growing down into the floor, that your feet are taking root, and that you've got a good base of support. And the more we can connect with our feet, the more grounded we can feel, more centered and stable. Just try to develop a feeling of being stable and grounded, feeling the support of the floor. And the more we take support from the floor, the more the rest of the body can grow upwards. So we're going to try and waken up all those muscles in the foot. We're going to do something that I call the Ministry of Silly Walks. So we're going to start walking very slowly and mindfully around the room, placing down the heel of one foot and then the rest of the foot one by one, the little parts of the foot. And as you do, spreading the toes out, placing them mindfully upon the floor, trying to keep them as wide as possible. Being aware of those pillars of support, the arches between them, and how they all come together to form a seamless movement. And then we're going to come onto the balls of the feet, so we're just walking on tiptoe. See how that feels. Might be something you haven't done for a very long time. And then onto the heels. And try walking side to side a little bit. Backwards a little bit. Come onto the outer edges of each foot. So this is the Ministry of Silly Walks. Onto the inner edges. And maybe the inner edge of one foot, the outer edge of the other. And then reversing that. And then coming back to using the whole foot once again. So we're going to use a couple of props this session. And they're props that will be useful to have all the time, really. If you can have either purpose blocks, or you can use a couple of books but have them about the same height. And the tennis ball is very useful, or you can use another ball if you have one around the house. For what we're doing today, this is quite good because it's hard rather than being too squashy. So we're going to place the ball on the floor, and we're going to use it to roll underneath the foot. Oops. Good balance as well, this. So we're just going to roll the foot over the ball and take it into all the different parts of the foot, the inner arch, the outer edge, the heel, roll it around all parts of the heel. And come up to the ball of the foot and the toes. And in fact, you can grip the toes quite hard with the ball and then release. Grip, try and make sure you're just gripping with just the one foot, not both. Both feet tend to join in. And then just generally, in all directions, under the foot. And then placing that foot on the floor. And just noticing, does that foot feel any different? Does it feel more alive? About the leg, does that feel any different? And then we'll come to the other foot, same thing, paying attention to the inner arch, outer edge, heel, and come up to the ball of the foot, toes, and grip, release, grip, release, grip one more time, and then going in all directions, all over the foot. And then putting the ball to one side. So coming back to your asana-s position, establishing that neutral spine, drawing the chin in, starting to come to your breath. And on your next inhalation, we're going to raise the arms above the head and raise the heels just a few centimeters from the floor. And exhale, lower the arms, lowering the heels with control. And this time we'll bring the arms up by the front rather than by the side. As you inhale, coming up. And as you exhale, coming back down again. So this time we can come up by the sides, inhale. You can use your ujjayi breath, if that's okay for you. And exhale, coming down. So keep going with this, alternating between raising the arms by the front and raising by the sides. So if you're just joining us and you haven't heard the explanations about the ujjayi breath, the way we do that is just slightly closing the glottis. Someone once said it's a bit like sniffing a flower in your throat. This results in a slight vibration at the throat as you breathe in and breathe out. And it helps us to be mindful of our breath. It provides a little bit of resistance for the flow of air, so it helps to slow down the breath as well. So this time we're going to keep the heels on the floor. Inhale, take the arms above the head. Now you can either keep the arms quite wide and the elbows soft, or you can interlink the fingers and turn the palms towards the ceiling. As you exhale, we're going to lean over to the left. So the feet are flat upon the floor at the moment. Inhaling, coming to center. So it's a sideways bend. And exhaling, coming to the other side. And as you inhale, come back to center. And if you want, you can come back on the toes, lifting the heels. Try this, staying up on your toes. So exhale to the left. It's a bit more wobbly. Inhale, center. You can feel all the muscles in the feet working. The other side. Inhale, come to center and lower the heels down, or you can relax the arms as well. So that's a bit of relief, isn't it? Come back on the feet. So this time we'll do it with the feet on the floor. Inhaling, stretching the arms up as much as is comfortable for you. And exhaling to the side. Inhaling, come to the center. Exhaling to the other side. So you're coordinating the movement with your breath. However your breath is today, it feels a little short, then you have to make your movements a bit faster. And then we'll try it again with the heels from the floor. So inhale, stretch up, lift the heels. Exhale to the side. Inhale to the center. Exhaling to the other side. Inhale, center. And exhale, bring the arms down, lower the heels. And so we'll just ease out some other parts of the body. If you can just take your feet a little bit wider apart, knees nice and soft, hands on the hips. We're just going to take the hips round in big circles, and you can breathe freely, or you can synchronize with the breath if you wish. So quite a loose movement, just allowing the hips to come round in a big circle. Warming up the hip joints. And doing this mindfully as well, just noticing how it feels. And you can go in the opposite direction. So if you place your feet back close together again, bend the knees, and we're going to bring the palms of the hands together and just place them in between your knees. So you're bending forward a little. And we're going to take the knees around in big circles as well. You might feel a little or hear a little crackle or two. That's absolutely okay. And just being very gentle, because we have to be careful with our knees. And going in the opposite direction. Keeping the toes quite widely spaced if you can. Just give you as much support from your feet as possible. And then straightening up. And we're going to come to the shoulders, so we can just place the feet under our hips once more to give us a good support. Placing the fingertips on top of the shoulders. We were going to draw the elbows together as we exhale. And then start to take the elbows up. Start your inhalation as you take the elbows away from you in a big circle. And then you can start the exhale again as they come together. So with your fingers, just keep track of what's going on. You'll be able to feel some of those muscles working, relaxing, and going in the opposite direction. Warming up that joint, bringing some movement back. And taking the arms down by your sides. Just having shake the wrists, move the body around in any position that feels nice. Little shakes, little expansive movements, as if you just got out of bed, as if you're stretching. Can yawn. Make some nice stretchy noises. And then we'll just do a little bit of warm up for the neck. So relaxing the shoulders down, the arms and the hands are relaxed. The feet are giving you that good base of support. And as you exhale, we're just going to turn the head over one shoulder. And inhale to center. Exhale to the other side. Come back to the center. Just one more time. To each side. Position. Feeling the whole body relaxed, alert, well balanced across both of the feet. So gradually take your weight over the left leg. Make sure you don't lock that knee. So feel the balance over your left leg. Now we're going to raise the right knee and place the foot either against the shin or the calf of the left leg. Now I tend to use, when I'm wearing trousers, I tend to use the shin because otherwise my foot does slide off. If I place my foot against my thigh, when I'm wearing trousers, it's more slippery and the foot does tend to slide. If you're okay here, that's okay for you, then try that. Bring the hands into prayer position. Slightly press the hands together. Elbows sticking out to either side. Lift up the breastbone, tuck in the chin. Soften the gaze. Feel the support that that foot is giving you. Feel as if it's making a big footprint upon the floor. You're grounded. Attached to the floor by the one foot. If you want to, you can experiment with your arm position. You can take them out to the sides. Take them above the head. Oops, you can interlink fingers if you wish. Press the palms to the ceiling. Lots of different arm positions you can use in tree pose. Keep lifting up out of your left hip, stretching up towards the sky. Your foot is giving you that anchorage. And when you've had enough, bringing the arms down, releasing the leg, bit of a shake out, releasing any tension. So coming back to your asana-s, we'll start from this position. Weight evenly balanced across both of the feet. And then gradually draw your weight over to the right. Start to lift the left foot, placing it wherever you choose against the right leg. Actually, my foot didn't slide last time, so I'll try it again this time. Start with hands in prayer position. Growing tall. And then starting to experiment with your hands. You can even take them behind the back if you wish. Out to the side, up above the head. Keeping the gaze soft. All the muscles in the face soft. And when you've had enough, Releasing, coming back down, coming back to Samastiti. So from here, we're going to take the feet out wide, pointing the feet out to the side a little. So from this position, we're going to be bending the knees. So if you just check that when you bend your knees, that the knees track over the midline of the feet. So in other words, when you look down, you should be able to see the big toe and the first couple of toes. So in other words, the knees aren't dropping inwards like this. They're tracking out as if there's a line going down the middle of the foot. So we'll start just by placing the hands on the hips, taking an inhale, and as you exhale, bending the knees, checking that they're tracking correctly, and inhale, coming up. We'll do that one more time. Inhale, bending the knees, lowering the hips down towards the floor, looking forwards, and coming up. Now we'll add in an arm movement. And we'll start with the arms out in cactus position, palms facing forwards. Inhale, bending the knees, coming down. As you exhale, straighten the legs, come up and draw the elbows together so the palms of the hands come together. Just squeezing the shoulder blades forwards. Inhale, opening out the arms, bending the knees and drawing the shoulder blades together, pressing the arms back a little, and just gently move between these two positions a few times, coordinating with your breath. Smooth breath, smooth movement. If you need to stop and take a breather, let the breath rest, come back to its normal pattern, that's fine. The elbows back a little to open out the chest, seeing how low you can come with your hips. This next time we'll stay there. So keep the knees where they are. As you exhale, you're going to rotate the shoulders so the fingers point down to the floor. Inhale, come back. Exhale here. Repeat. Fingers down to the floor. Inhale, bring them back. And exhale, straighten up. Draw the elbows together. We'll do that one more time. Inhale, bending the knees, taking the elbows back. Exhale, rotating the shoulder. Inhale, pointing the fingers up again. And this time exhale, straightening up. Bringing the arms together. And we'll relax the arms down by the sides. Just take a resting breath. Let your breath come back to an easy pattern. And placing the hands on your hips, we're going to inhale, exhale, bending the knees back down into the position. We're going to stay here for a few breaths. And we're going to inhale, raise one heel from the floor. And on the next exhale, come to the other side. And we're just going to move from one side to the other. Dropping the opposite hip to the floor. As you do that, you can maybe rest the hands on top of the thighs, wherever is comfortable. One more time to each side. Inhale, coming up. Oh, that feels good. And bringing the feet together. Again, just a little shake out of the body. So we're going to come into the position for warrior. So if you stand near the front end of your mat, feet about hip width apart, and we're going to step back with the right foot. So just take a step back. Now normally when we do warrior, we have this back foot angled out, maybe 45 degrees, something like that. Try and have the foot facing straight forward as much as you can. If the heel doesn't come all the way down to the floor, don't worry about that. But in this position, you might feel a nice stretch down the back of the leg, as particularly near the ankle. So we're going to practice warrior one. And as we inhale, we're going to bend the front knee so it comes above the ankle. And we're just going to take the arms either into cactus, or you can straighten them a little bit above the head. And feel that nice stretch on the back leg. And exhale, release, come back to your starting position. So we're going to repeat this a few times. You can take the arms either out by the sides or by the front. If you get any pain in the knee, please either readjust your position or stop doing the pose. Should never be any pain. So on the exhale, you're coming back to the start position with both legs straight. Inhale, the front knee bends, the arms come overhead. Coordinating your breath with your movement, or rather your movement with your breath. And you should be feeling a nice stretch in the back leg. One last time. And when you finish that one, we'll turn to come to the other side. If you find yourself a little bit wobbly, you can always make the feet wider widthwise. We're trying to have that back foot pointing forward as much as possible, as long as it's not causing any pain in the knees. Once you feel stable, inhale, bending the knee, bringing the arms up either by the side or by the front, either a straight arm or a bent arm position. And exhaling, coming back. If you feel this pinches your lower back at all, you can just try leaning the torso a little bit forward. I'll show you that in the next one. And just lean forward slightly. And that should take any pressure off the lower back. And we'll just do two more. And keeping your mind's attention on the back heel, and the stretching on the ankle joint. And when you've completed, turning the feet forwards, stepping them together. And so we're going to intensify that little stretch that we just did in Virabhadrasana by going to the wall. And we're going to place the right foot up against the wall, stepping back. We'll place, the left foot against the wall and step back with the right foot in the same way, so that the foot is pointing forward, straight towards the wall. And then lean forward so that your forearms come against the wall, and you can lean your forehead on your hands. So the front leg is going to bend in the same way. Oh no, yes, that's right. Front leg's going to bend, and it's going to, so that the knee is above the ankle, and you're going to keep it in that position. Now from here, as you exhale, you're going to bend the right knee. So let that knee just drop down towards the floor a little. And as you inhale, straighten the leg, press back into the heel. And that's all it is. Exhale, bend the knee a little. And inhale, straighten. So the left leg isn't working at all, isn't moving, staying in this fixed position. It's just the right knee. It's bending and straightening. You might be able to feel all the muscles in the right shin working away, strengthening all around the ankle. We'll just do 2 more. And then changing leg. Right foot comes forward towards the wall. Left foot should be pointing towards the wall as well. Resting the head. And then bending that right knee so it comes above that ankle, and it's going to stay there. And as you exhale, you're going to release the left knee. Inhale and straighten, pressing back into the heel. So it's a small, subtle movement. And keeping your attention on part of the body that we're working with. And just noticing any sensations in the left leg. Strengthening the ankle, point of weakness. One last one. And stepping back. Again, easing out the body if you need to. So coming back to your asana-s position. Relaxing the shoulders, drawing in the chin. I'm going to do some forward bends. So if forward bends aren't advised for you, that is if you've had any back issues in the past and you're a bit worried about the status of your lower back, or if you have heart or blood pressure, untreated blood pressure problems, or eye issues like glaucoma or detached retina, then it's not a good idea for you to go all the way down to the floor. You could, in fact, use the back of a chair and just come that far if you wanted to. So we're going to inhale and raise the arms above the head. And as we exhale, we're going to bend the knees and the hips, bring the hands down as if you're picking up something from the floor, as if you're getting hold of a big parcel. Keeping that long spine. Inhale, taking the arms up by your ears. As you exhale, you're going to keep the knees bent as you drape your torso forwards over your thighs and coming down towards the floor. Inhale, raising the arms, and if someone's got hold of your fingertips and is pulling you back up into that chair pose, exhale here. Inhale all the way up. And exhale, lower the arms down. So if you were to do that against the chair, I'll just show you what that looks like. So inhale, take the arms above the head. Exhale, bend the knees, the ankles and the hips. Bring the arms down as if you're picking something up. Inhale, raising the arms above the head. And as you exhale, just bring your hands to the top of the chair and just round just a little, maybe not too much at all. And inhale back into that chair pose. Exhale. Inhale all the way up and lower the arms down. So I'll do that one more time with the chair and then I'll go back to doing it to the floor. Inhale, raising the arms. Exhale, bending at the knees, picking up the parcel. Inhale, raising the arms up to the level of the ears. And exhale, just lowering the hands to the top of the chair. Or if your back isn't too bad, you can come a bit lower to the seat of the chair maybe. Inhale, back to chair pose. Exhale. And inhale all the way up. And lower the arms down. Just move the chair to one side. Inhaling, taking the arms up. Exhale, bending at the knees, hips and the ankles. Inhale, raising the arms. As you exhale, keep the knees bent as you just drape yourself over the thigh. Let the head relax towards the floor. Inhale, keeping the knees bent, raising the arms. Exhale here. Inhale all the way up. And lower the arms down. So if you're able to come all the way down to the floor, we're going to stay there for a few breaths. If you wish to place a block either side of your feet to place the hands on, you can do that, or you can keep the knees well bent. So inhaling, taking the arms above the head. Exhale, chair pose with the arms down. Inhale, taking the arms up by your ears. And exhale, folding down towards the floor, keeping the knees well bent. So we're going to stay here, and as you inhale, feel as if you can peel the spine away from the legs. If you want to straighten the legs, that's up to you, it's your choice. And exhale, relaxing the head. So from here, if you want to add an extra challenge, you can place the hands under the feet. So the backs of the hands go on the floor, sole of the hand against the, palm of the hand against the sole of the foot. And we're just going to stay here for a few breaths, relaxing the head, just feeling that nice warmth from the hands against the foot. And if you want to do some small movements here, you can inhale, just slightly lift the torso away, and exhale, relax. Inhale. If you want to straighten your legs and your hamstrings are reasonably flexible, you can do that, or you can keep the knees very bent if you need them to. So releasing the hands, placing the hands on the hips, we're going to come up halfway and exhale in this position. And then on your next inhale, come all the way up and releasing the arms. So we're going to use the blocks next. So either two books or two blocks, and we're going to place them on the floor like this, about 10 centimeters between them. And we're going to stand on the blocks. So if you place your foot on the block so that the ball of the foot is supported and the heel is supported, and the other foot as well. So it's the middle part of the foot and the inner arch here which isn't supported. So I remember many years ago that my teacher used to say in yoga classes, lift the inner arch of your feet. And I used to think, how on earth do I do that? I couldn't connect with that inner arch at all, and I didn't have any clue how to do it. So this position, standing on two blocks like this, actually forces the body to activate that inner arch. So you might find that you're wobbling about a little bit, that's all right. The body is adjusting and the muscles are coming into play to support you. And so while we're standing in this position, in order to have something to do and to think about, we're going to establish that neutral spine once again. So you can have the hands on the hips and start to tip the pelvis forwards, then bring that bowl of water, and then slowly taking it back in the opposite direction. So you bring the tailbone down, tip the pelvis backwards as if the water is rushing out at the back, and just move between these two positions. So there's quite a lot of movements possible from the lower spine. And so we're going to come back to a midway position. So there's a little bit of arch in the lumbar spine, but not too much. And then we can place the fingertips on the chest. As you inhale, feel the chest bone lift. And you can kind of encourage that with the hands. You can maybe keep the hands just hovering over the chest area. And use your hands to encourage that area to lift as you inhale. And then tucking in the chin so the back of the neck feels long. You can place the hands on top of the head as if we've got a weight on our head. And we're growing up into the weight, into the hands. Growing up tall. And slowly and carefully take the arms down by the sides. And we'll stay here for a few breaths. Just let the brain learn what it feels like to be in a neutral spine. The arches of the feet working well. And then we're going to step off the blocks. And just come back to your asana-s position. Notice if it feels any different. The arches of the feet feel more alive. And then from here, we're going to come down to the floor. So we're going to sit back on our heels, but first of all, we're going to tuck the toes under. Now, if you suffer with bad knees, you can either stay in this position, in a raised kneeling position, or it might help if you put some padding behind your bottom, on top of your legs, and you could sit back onto the cushion. That takes a little bit of the harshness out of that angle at the knee. But if you don't need that, then you can sit back, right back on the heels, and you can feel that there's a fair bit of weight now going onto the toes. And come back to this neutral spine. Feel that little bit of an arch in the lumbar spine. And as you inhale, the breastbone can lift and the thoracic spine flattens a little bit. Keeping the back of the neck long, growing up into this crown of the head. Relaxing the shoulder blades down the back. And should be starting to feel a little bit of the intense pressure on the toes there. See if we can put up with it for a little bit longer. And back to your breath. Use your breath if you can. And just 2 more breaths. And then just come forward onto your hands so you can release the feet. So the The tops of the feet are against the floor and then sit back again. And that feels rather good, doesn't it? Okay. So we're going to come onto the side, stretching out on the mat. So here you can either use a cushion under your head to support the head. You can stretch the lower arm out on the floor and just rest the head on the upper arm, or you can bend at the elbow, rest the head in the hand, bending the lower knee, and we're going to stretch out top leg up towards the ceiling, point and flex the foot. Point again, and then we're going to rotate at the hip so that as we lower the leg down towards the floor, the toes come down to touch the floor. So we're going to do this action and we're going to vary the angle of the leg. So if you imagine that there's a clock face underneath your body, at the moment the foot is at half past the hour, we're going to gradually bring it up to about 1/4 to the hour, or maybe even 10 to. So as you inhale, raise the leg, point the toes towards the ceiling, exhale, flex the foot. Inhale, point the foot, and as you exhale, we're bringing the foot and the leg down to about 25 to the hour. The toes touch the floor. Inhale, coming back up, point, exhale, flex, inhale, point, exhale, bring the leg down, 20 to the hour, rotating so the toes come down to the floor. Inhale, raising the leg, point, exhale, flex, inhale, point, and exhale, coming down, about 1/4 to the hour. Inhale, point, flex, point, exhale. See if you can come down about 10 to the hour, a bit more difficult. Inhale, coming back up, and we'll go back down. So do the flex, point, and coming down about 1/4 to. So working our way back down the clock face again. About 22. So we should be feeling it in the hip joint as well here. And 25 to. And at 1/2 past. And so we're going to change to the other leg. So choose the position for your head. Either use a cushion or using your hand. Keep the bottom leg bent. And inhaling, raising the top leg. Exhale, flex. Inhale, point. And exhale, coming down about 25 past the hour. Inhale, up. Flex. Point. Exhale, 20 past. Inhale, point, flex, point, going down, 1/4 past. See if you can manage 10 past. So we're coming back down the clock face, 1/4 past the hour. Twenty past the hour. 25 past. Final one, 1/2 past. Quite a lot of rotation necessary at the hip, this one. And releasing. We're going to come back up to sitting. Stretching the legs out in front. And we're going to sit in Dandasana to start with. So feet are quite close together, or you can have them a little bit apart if you wish. Toes pointing up towards the ceiling. And just leaning back. You can put the hands on the floor, with either the fingers pointing forwards or backwards. Just leaning back, opening up across the chest, pushing the heels away from. And then we're going to bend the left knee and take hold of the left ankle, placing the hands underneath your ankle to lift it up and placing it across your right thigh. So you can have your left hand on top of the left knee just for stability. And with your right hand taking hold of the left foot, and we're going to crank the ankle, it's called. So we're going to take the ankle around in big circles. Nice, slow, deliberate movements, which we can coordinate with the breath if you wish. Should feel quite nice on the ankle. And then in the opposite direction. And then we're going to use both hands to give the foot a little bit of a massage. So we can start with pressing the thumbs into the sole of the foot, all around the mound of the toes. And the tips of the fingers can come onto the top of the foot, pressing into the top of the foot at the same time. And so we can work our way up and down the sole of the foot, the inner arch, ball of the foot, can pinch down the outside edge, and then come round the heel, and even around the ankle as well. Whatever feels good, really. And come up to the toes, and you can take hold of each toe individually, give it a little shake, a little pull. Feels quite nice. Big toe as well. Working in between the toes. And coming back down, maybe going in little circles, excuse me. Working the thumbs into little circles. All around the foot, wherever it feels it needs a little bit of attention. And I also do this, I have an oil called Maha Narayana oil, which is good for arthritis, as I've got the start of arthritis in my feet. If anybody wants the details of that, it's available quite easily on Amazon. It's an Ayurvedic oil used for arthritis. And then finishing off with some nice gliding, soothing movements. Just running up and down the top and sole of the foot. And you can simply hold around the toes, interlink the fingers, and just hold there for a few seconds. Just feel that lovely warmth, hands soaking into the foot. And you can maybe give your foot some words of support or care. I will take care of my feet. I appreciate my feet. And we'll release that foot down on the floor and do the same thing with the other one. So the right hand on top of the right knee, just for some support, and taking that right foot around in big circles. And in the opposite direction. And then you're going to use both hands to give the foot a massage. I'm starting with working the thumbs into the ball of the foot. And of course, you can use the tips of the fingers on the top of the foot at the same time. And then coming down to the inner arch that we've been working on. Pinch down the outer edge, that feels quite good. Come down to the heel, around the ankle. And then work your way back up to the toes. A little bit of attention to the toes, giving each one a little shake and a little pull. And then just generally working between the toes with the thumbs and the tips of the fingers. And then coming back down the foot and changing into like a little circular motion with the thumb. And if there's any part of the foot that feels as if it needs a little bit of special attention, you can linger there. And then coming to some nice soothing gliding movements. And then holding around the toes, interlink the fingers around the toes and just gently clasp the toes. And you can come back to whatever affirmation you chose before, something about taking care of your feet, appreciating your feet. And then releasing, stretching the legs out. And we're going to draw the soles of the feet together. So we're in Baddha Konasana, cobbler pose. And if you take your hands and you imagine that your feet are a book in front of you, and you're going to use your thumbs just to open up the book. So placing the thumbs just inside, maybe just by the ball of the foot or underneath, and just imagining that you're opening up the pages of a book. Be careful not to put any tension into the shoulders or the neck. And just work on the foot a little bit. Open up the chest by lifting up the breastbone, closing the eyes, keeping your hands in contact with the feet. And just a little bit of pressure of the hands against the foot, the warmth of the hands. Coming back to that affirmation. Thanking the feet for all the work they do. And thank you very much, everyone. That's the end of the session today. I hope you enjoyed. I hope you, your feet enjoy the rest of the day. Thank you.